Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel for another video. All right, so it's been just over a week with the Canon R6 Mark III. A bunch of you guys have been asking for an update. You know, you're wanting to know, is it worth it? Is it overhyped? Do I have any regrets about dropping the cash? So let's talk about it. Okay, so I planned to get this video out sooner, but literally the day after I bought the camera, townhouse chaos. You know, exterminators, moving furniture, tenant prep stuff, nothing dramatic, just real life. So that's why this update took a minute. Now that I've actually had time to shoot with it, let's break it down. I'll start with the cons because chaos first. So first con, the battery. Every Canon camera that I've ever purchased came with a partially charged battery. The R6 Mark III, completely dead, 0%. So instead of bonding with the new camera, I stared at a charging light. Not the best first impression. Now, I do have 3 OEM Canon batteries for my 80D, my EOS R, and my R7, and they do work, but with limitations. Mostly those limitations are when shooting video. Reason being is that this camera, it requires more power. Now, before the comments explode, yes, I use third-party batteries. I've used them for years. Never had an issue. Well, until now. My newer brand batteries, they worked perfectly in my R7. Full functionality, no frame rate limits. On the R6 Mark III, camera turns on, 5 seconds later, error message. I tried over 20 third-party batteries and every single one failed. Now, am I mad? No. I knew that upgrading would mean upgrading batteries too. Pretty much just budget for OEM. That's the reality. The next con. If you use non-RF lenses with autofocus, your photo frames per second are limited. Now, that wasn't the case on the R7. Is it annoying? A little, but let's be honest. If I need crazy high frame rates, I'm probably shooting action. And that's what my R7 is for. But here's the interesting part. You switch that EF lens to manual focus, full frames per second comes right back. So this is clearly an autofocus communication thing. The reason being is RF lenses were built for this mount, whereas EF lenses are adapting into it. And that makes sense. And honestly, that's it for cons so far, which is kind of crazy. So now for the pros. And this is where it gets fun. So first is autofocus. Holy crap. This autofocus is insane. It's fast, it's sticky, it almost feels psychic. The auto subject detection for humans, animals, and vehicles, it just works. You don't babysit it. You frame your shot, it locks, it stays. Now, coming from the R7, which already had great autofocus, this feels even more confident, and confidence matters. Then there's the low light performance. Well, the R6 Mark III has the same sensor as the Canon C50, and there's not an official listed second base ISO, but on this, around 6400, the noise seems to clean up, which tells me that there's some C50 traits in here. So the low light performance, quite impressive. So how about image quality? Well, right now, I'm still shooting with EF glass. And that may change soon, but even with my older EF-L lenses, this camera is producing some of the sharpest images that I've ever taken. The sensor and the processor combo here just works. It feels modern, clean, and powerful. Now on to video. Now I'm primarily a still shooter, but obviously I make YouTube videos. And I didn't upgrade specifically for video, but after using this, there's a noticeable difference. There's OpenGate, C-Log 2, C-Log 3, IBIS, color science. This thing is dangerously close to cinema territory. So if you're a hybrid shooter, this might be the sweet spot. Now let's address some of the internet complaints, because I know you've seen them, I've seen them. So the first one, the OpenGate resets frame rates and resolution. Yeah, it does. Is it annoying? Maybe. But it's like shooting stills and not checking your shutter speed. You just check. You know, it becomes muscle memory. It's not a deal breaker. The next complaint, it's not revolutionary over the Mark II. Look, no camera in 2026 is gonna reinvent photography. We're not jumping from film to digital here, but saying that this isn't a meaningful upgrade, I disagree. The autofocus alone is a serious improvement. You add in open gate, C-Log 2 and 3, refined IBIS, better processing, ergonomics, overall power. This is evolution done right. Then there's the last complaint. The screen and EVF resolution, they didn't get upgraded. The flip screen is 1.62 million dots. EVF is 3.69 million dots, same as the Mark II. And people are upset. Now, unless you only view your photos on your camera screen, this shouldn't be a real issue. If you edit on a monitor, you're fine. Coming from the R7's EVF, this is already a noticeable jump. And the R7 was perfectly usable. How much resolution do you actually need just to frame a shot? Your eyes do most of the work. So, final thoughts. Canon R6 Mark III is an absolute beast. For photos, it's a monster. For video, borderline cinema. For hybrid shooters, this might be the one. I have zero regrets. Every time I shoot with it, I'm even more impressed. And yes, I'll be using it for these YouTube videos, like I am now. So if you notice a quality shift, that's why. So, have you grabbed your R6 Mark III yet? If so, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Curious to know. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and click the bell for more videos. Also, hit up my website, jeff-gresham.com, to grab a few of my newly released photo prints, as well as my Lightroom presets pack that I personally use for all my photo projects. And until next time, get out and shoot. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.